Myself is Sultana Nasir from Mitanagar MPS, Goregaon. Yesterday, in the last lecture, we were revising lesson number 2, historiography, Indian tradition. Okay, so we have seen three historiography was divided into three periods. That was ancient, medieval, and modern period. Okay, then we have seen Indian historiography, various ideological frameworks. In that, we have seen colonial historiography, Orientalist historiography, nationalistic historiography. Okay, so in historiography in the post-independence era. Now we will be seeing historiography in the post-independence era. This part was remaining, so I will start continuing now. Okay. So now, along with the writing, the dynastic histories means histories of the kings. Okay, the cultural, social, economic histories were also being written. Historiographers started writing history about culture, history about socio-economic. Okay, scholars of the post-independence period began to feel the need of writing histories of various communities, sciences, economic sciences, political ideologies, cultural aspects, etc. Okay, the scholars before they were writing only about king stories. Now they felt the need. They felt the need of writing histories of various communities like science, economic system, political ideologies, cultural aspects, etc. The historiography of this era has been influenced mainly by three ideological schools. Now we will see the three, which are these three ideological school. First one, Marxist history. Second is subaltern history, and third one is feminist history. Okay, Marxist history. The concern for the means of production, modes of production, and the industrial relations were at the center in the writings of Marxist historians. Okay, in the last chapter, we have seen one notable scholar, Karl Marx. Okay, so in his writing, or he believed, or his idea was that like economical production, means of productions are owned by only the higher class. Okay, he noticed that there is a class system prevalent, upper class, middle class, lower class, and only the means of production, the economy is in the hands of the class which who owns it, like higher classes, and other classes are exploited. Okay, so this concept is from Marxist history. So the concern for the means of production, modes of production, and the industrial relations were at the center in the writings of Marxist historians. Okay, those who are writing Marxist history, their main concern is to write about the who is owning the means of production, what is the modes of production, and the industrial relations. Accordingly, to analyze the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of the Marxist historiography. What is the basic theme of the Marxist historiography? The basic theme is what is the social impact of every event, okay, in the society, whatever event is happening, and what is the impact on the society. Okay, so what is the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. Marxist historiography, Marxist historians in India studied the transitions within the caste system. As I told you, there was a caste system prevalent. So, in this Marxist history, the historians studied what are the transitions, what are the changes of the caste system. Among the notable Indian historians who adopted Marxist ideological frameworks, scholars like Damodar. Now, these are the names of the some scholars, okay, who adopted Marxist ideological framework. Damodar Dharmanand, Kosambi, Comrade Shripad, Amrut Dange, Ram Sharan Sharma, Comrade Sharad Patil have contributed notably. Okay, these were the names of the few scholars who adopted Marxist ideological framework. Comrade Dange was one of the founder members of the Indian Communist Party. Okay, so he was the founder member of the Indian Communist Party. Primitive Communism to Slavery, the book written by him, represent Marxist historiography. Okay, who wrote this book? Primitive Communism and Slavery. Comrade Dange wrote the book. Okay. Second is subaltern history. The seeds of subaltern history are found in the Marxist historiography. So, in the Marxist historiography, we have seen like scholars are writing about the class system. Okay, so subaltern history is also about class system, but its seeds were sown already in Marxist history. We can see that already classes writing about class system is written in Marxist history. The role of the Italian historian Antonio Gramsci is very important in developing the idea that history should be written starting from the bottommost ranks of people in the society. So there's an Italian historian Antonio Gramsci. His idea was that history should be written from the bottommost, means from the low to higher classes, from the bottom to high. So in fact, subaltern means the bottommost rank. Okay, what is the meaning of subaltern? Subaltern means the bottommost rank. Folklore has been considered as a very important source of writing subaltern histories. Ranjit Guha, an Indian historian, played a major role in establishing subaltern history as an important academic school of historiography. However, we may point out that much before the onset of subaltern ideology, similar thoughts were expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Mahatma Phule unfolded the history of the Shudra Ati-Shudra communities in his book Gulamgiri. He drew attention to the exploitation of women, Shudras and Ati-Shudras done under the name of religion. The term Shudra and Ati-Shudra indicates the bottommost rank in the caste system. The meaning of Shudra and Ati-Shudra means bottommost ranks. The role of people belonging to Dalit cases, Dalit castes, is very significant in the shaping of various cultural and political aspects of India. However, their role was not duly acknowledged in the colonial and nationalistic history. Okay, the people belonging to Dalit caste. So, what is their role? It is not mentioned in uh, colonial and nationalistic historiography. They were left out. So, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar focused on these Dalit and wanted to brought what was the significant role in this historiography. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, forcing on this fact, consistently wrote about it. Two of his books, now he wrote two books, Who Were the Shudras and the Untouchables. Okay, they may be cited as examples of history of subaltern type. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar wrote two books. One is Who Were the Shudras and the other one is The Untouchables. So you can see the examples of history of subaltern in these two books. Next is feminist history. Feminist history means history about women. Over a significant period of time, mainly male scholars were involved in the writing of Indian history. Now we have seen, like we have come across so many writers or historiographers, those who were male only. Okay, so only male scholars were involved in the writing of Indian history. As a result, the role and achievements of women in history remained neglected. Okay, what is the women's contribution in history? Okay, there's many lot of women contributed in history, so their ideas, their achievements were left out. Okay, they were neglected. To highlight this fact was a major task faced by the feminist historians. Now, those were the feminist historians, the female historians. They wanted to highlight the achievements of females. Okay. Also, it was important to study and compile the historical writings of women. So they wanted to study what were the achievements of women, and they wanted to compile it. They want to gather all the information and write it. It was also necessary to rethink a women's position in history. Only male's position was there, like they were a male dominated society was there. So everything in women, among women, authors writing about women in the 19th century, see Tarabai Shinde was the foremost one. She wrote attacking the male dominated social system and the caste system. Her book Stree Purush Tulna, published in 1882, is acknowledged as the first feminist book in India. In 1888, the book written by Pandit Ramabai was published entitled The High Caste Hindu Women. The High Caste Hindu Women was published by Pandit Ramabai. The feminist literature of the post-independence era concentrated on the issues like employment of women, treatment needed meted out to them at their workplace, their right to political equality, etc. Among the recently published feminist literature, Meera Kosambi's book Crossing Thresholds: Feminist Essays in Social History is of importance. Yeah. Meera Kosambi's book name of the book is Crossing Thresholds. It includes feminist essays in social history. It contains essays. Now, what are the contents in that book? It contains essays on the life stories of women like Pandita Ramabai and Dr. Rukmabai, the first practicing lady doctor of India. Okay, she was the first lady doctor of India, Dr. Rukmabai and Pandita Ramabai. These two women's stories are essays are written in the book Crossing Thresholds. A lot of literature is available unfolding the viewpoint of Dalit women in Maharashtra. Dr. Sharmila Rege's work is noteworthy in the context. Her book Writing Caste, Writing Gender, reading Dalit women's testimonies included her essays on the autobiographies of Dalit women. Okay, Dr. Sharmila Rege, she wrote the book Gender and with women's testimonies. These two were and essays, biographies are included in this book. You can find that is history related to women. We have seen three types of history: Marxist history, subaltern history, and the last one was feminist history. Now we'll revise question and answers of this chapter. First, we will see the fill in the blanks. Choose the correct option and rewrite the complete answers. Dash was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. So, who was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India? Sir Alexander Cunningham. Second, Dash translated the Sanskrit text to Hitopadesh. Who translated? Frederick Max Muller. Next is identify the wrong pair uh, in the following and correct it and rewrite it. Okay. First one, I'll read the questions first. Who were the Shudras? Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Stree Purush Tulna, feminist writing, the Indian War of Independence, Marxist history, Grand Duff Colonial History. So, which is the wrong pair? The Indian War of Independence, Marxist history is the wrong pair. The Indian War of Independence was written by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar in 1857 and is an nationalistic historiography. Question number 2. Complete the following concept chart. Do as directed. Complete the following concept chart. Okay. So this is the question. Purpose of historiography. Ziauddin Barani, and he wrote Tariq Firoz Shahi. Next is description of the battles fought by Babar, that is Babar, Tuzuke Babri, books written by him. Okay, so this concept chart is about the historians or historiographers and the names of the book, what they have written. History of Kashmir, Kalhana, written by Kalhana Raj Tarangini. The reign of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Krishnaji Anant Sabsahad. Complete the following table, that is match the following. James Mills, The British History of India, James Granduff, A History of Maharashtra, Mount Stuart, Elphinstone, The History of India. Fourth one is S.A. Dange, Primitive Communism to Slavery, and Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, who were the Shudras. Next question number 2, explain the concept Orientalist historiography. Okay, so you have to write the concept. It comes for 2 marks. Orientalist historiography. Answer is many European scholars felt curious about civilization and countries of the East. Some of these were scholars who felt admiration and respect for them were known as Orientalists. The Orientalists studied similarities between Sanskrit and some of the European languages. They focused more on Vedic tradition and Sanskrit literature. In 1784, Sir William Jones founded Asiatic Society of Kolkata, which opened doors for researching in ancient Indian literature and history. According to another Orientalist, Frederick Max Muller, Sanskrit was the most ancient of all Indo-European languages. Frederick Max Muller translated the Sanskrit text of Hitopadesh and also edited 50 volumes of the sacred books of the East. Frederick Max Muller compiled Rigveda and also translated in German. Next question, nationalistic historiography. The writings of Indian historians who were trained in the British educational system show an inclination to restore the pride in the ancient glory of India and self-esteem of Indian readers. Their writings are known as nationalistic historiography. In Maharashtra, nationalistic writings were inspired by Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar. He criticized the prejudiced history of ancient India written by British officers. The nationalistic historians tried to seek the golden era of Indian history. Mahadev Govind Ranade, Ramkrishna Gopal, Bhandarkar Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Kashi Prasad Jaiswal, Radha Kumud Mukherjee, Bhagwan Lal Indraji, Vasudev, Vishnu Mirashi, and Anand Sadashiv Altekar are some of the renowned scholars among the national historians. Next is Question number 3A. Explain the following statement with reason. First one. Writing of regional history received a momentum. Why writing of regional history received a momentum? Answer. British historians like Grant Duff had an inclination to condemn Indian culture and history. A similar tendency was witnessed in Colonel Todd's writings about Rajasthan's history. Second, colonial British officers and Christian missionaries ridiculed Indian culture and tried to justify the British rule. Example, the 5 volumes of Cambridge History of India published during 1922-1937. Marathi historians like Neelkanth Janardhan, Kirtane Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade, and Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar criticized and exposed the prejudiced attitude of the British historians. Regional pride promoted nationalistic sentiments. Ultimately, even V.D. Savarkar chose the revolt of 1857 as the subject of his book, The Indian War of Independence 1857. Thus, to restore the self-esteem of Indian readers, writings of regional history received a momentum. Next question. Bakar is an important type of historical document of medieval times. Bakar is an important type of historical documents of medieval times. It contains eulogies of the heroes and stories of historic events, battles, lives of great men. So in Bakar there are the stories of war, stories of the kings, stories of the great men. Okay, stories of historic events or stories of the some important events. Marathi Bhakars are of various types. Sabhasad Bhakar was written by Krishnaji Anand Sabhasad during the reign of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj. It is an important Bhakar for getting information about the rule of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, in this Bhakar, Shivaji Maharaj information is there. Okay. Next point, Bhausahebanchi Bhakar describes the Battle of Panipat. Another Bhakar entitled Panipatchi Bhakar is also about the same event. Okay, the Battle of Panipat. Okay, you get the information in this Bhakar, Bhausahebanchi Bhakar. Holkaranchi Bhakar provides information about the Holkars and their contributions to the Maratha rule. In Holkaranchi Kaifiyat, there is the information about Holkars and their contributions to the Maratha rule. What was the contribution of Holkar to the Maratha rule? Next point, Bhakar can be divided into various types such as biographies of king, dynastic history, descriptions of events, history of a set, autobiographies regarding grievances based on mythologies, and state administration by a king. Okay, next question. Question number 5. What is the contribution of Swatantriya Veer Savarkar to nationalistic historiography? The nationalistic historiography helped in the triggering of the independence movement of the Indian people against the British. In this aspect, the book The Indian War of Independence 1857, written by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, is of great importance. Next question, question number 6. What information did the inscription in the coins, metal images and sculptures in 1st century CE reveal? The inscriptions on the coins, metals, images and sculptures in 1st century CE reveal the dates of various kings, dynastic genealogies, territorial extent and administration of various empires and kingdoms, and also important political events, social organization, climate, famines, etc. of those times. answer in detail what is Marxist historio or what is Marxist history. Answer. First point, the concern for the means of production, modes of production, and the industrial relations were at the center in the writings of Marxist historians. Second point, analyzing the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. Third point, Marxist historians of India consisted of the study of transitions within the caste system. Fourth point, some of them are Damodar, Dharmanand Kosambi, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange, Ram Sharan Sharma, and Comrade Sharad Patil. Comrade Dange wrote a book, Primitive Communism to Slavery, representing Marxist historiography. Next question. What is the contribution what is the contribution Itihascharya V.K. Rajwade to historiography? To repeat the question again, what is the contribution Itihascharya V.K. Rajwade to historiography? Answer. First point, Rajwade was well known for his writings in Marathi. He was of the firm opinion we should write our own history. Okay, what was his opinion? That we should write our own history. He compiled and edited 22 volumes of Maratyancha Itihasachi Sadhane. He wrote scholarly prefaces to each of the 22 volumes. Next point, he stated that history is all-inclusive image of past societies. Means what had happened in the past, it is the image about it. It is the image means picture. It's a picture of the society, what happened in the past. It does not include only the stories of political images, conspiracies, and wars for seizing power. Okay, he says that it does not include only the stories of war, political images, or conspiracies for seizing power. He also insisted on writing by only using the authentic documentary source. Okay, so whatever history is to be written only by authenticating documentary source. Last point, V.K. Rajwade founded Bharat Itihas Samshodak Mandal in Pune on 7th July 1910 to facilitate historical research. Okay, now we will see some extra questions. Okay, read the passage and answer the questions. I'll read one small passage. Historiography in the medieval period in India. In the 20th century, the Indian archaeological exploration research started under the British rule. A number of ancient sites were excavated under the supervision of Sir Alexander Cunningham, the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. He chose mainly the sites mentioned in the Buddhist text for the purpose. Harappan civilization was discovered during the tenure of Sir John Marshall. Because of this discovery, the antiquity of Indian history could be traced to 3rd millennium BCE or even earlier. Many British officials in India wrote about Indian history. Their writings display strong influence of the colonial policies of the British. So I've read the passage, and from passage you have to find the answers. First question, When did the archaeological exploration start in India? So you will look for the word archaeological exploration in the passage, then find the answer. In the first line only it is there. In the 20th century, the Indian archaeological exploration research was started under the British rule. Okay. Next question. Who was the first director of Archaeological Survey of India? Just look these words, first director of Archaeological Survey of India in the passage. You don't find, so read twice. You can read the passage twice, okay? All answers are there in the passage. You have to just read carefully. You have to just read the question also carefully. Look those words in the passage and you can easily find the answer and score 5 marks in the exam. You shouldn't leave this passage question. So who was the first director of Archaeological Survey of India? In the fourth line is there. Okay. Sir Alexander Cunningham was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. Next, which discovered took place, it should be which discovery took place during the tenure of Sir John Marshall. Okay, it's there in the passage. Harappan civilization was discovered during the tenure of Sir John Marshall. Last question. What do the writings of British official display? So last third line, answer is there only. Many British officials in India wrote about Indian history. Their writings display the strong influence of the colonial policies of the British. Next passage I will read. 3 volumes of the British History of India written by James Mill were published in 1817. This was the first book on Indian history written by a British officer. It clearly reflects an absence of objective perspective and prejudice about various aspects of the Indian culture. The History of India written by Mount Stuart Elphinstone, Governor of Bombay, now Mumbai. Okay, means now we call it Mumbai. Before it in British rule it was called Bombay. Was published in 1841. The period of Maratha Empire is very important in the Indian history. Grand Duff's name stand out among the British officers who wrote about Maratha history. He wrote the book entitled A History of Marathas. Now we'll solve the passage. Which book was published in 1817? What does the book reflect? In this question, there are 2 questions. First is which book was published in 1817? First, you will write the answer of that. Then, what does the book reflect? Okay. Then again, you will write the answer to that question. So you have to read the question carefully. Sometimes double questions are asked in one question only. So you have to answer the both. So which book was published in 1817? First line you can see 3 volumes of the history of India written by James Mill were published in 1817. Okay. 3 volumes of the history of British India written by James Mills were published in 1817. Now what does the book reflect? It's in 4th line. It clearly reflects an absence of objective perspective and prejudice about various aspects of the Indian culture. Next question. Who wrote the book The History of India? When was it published? Again, your 2 questions are there. Who has written it and when it was published? So we'll search the answer. The History of India written by Mount Stuart Elphinstone, Governor of Bombay, now Mumbai, was published in 1841. Okay. Last question. Name the British officer who wrote about Maratha history. Last third line. Grand Duff's name stand out among the British officers who wrote about Maratha history. So in this way, we have to solve the passage by reading carefully the questions and looking them in the passage. When double questions are asked, when two questions are there in one question, so you have to answer the both the questions carefully. Maybe revise some extra questions. Give two examples of historiography in the ancient period of Indian historiography or ancient period of Indian history. The inscriptions on the Harappan seals and the other artifacts confirms that Indians had mastered the art of writing as early as the 3rd millennium BCE or perhaps before that. However, the Harappan script is not yet successfully deciphered. The earliest known written documents of historical nature found in India are in the form of inscriptions. They are dated to 3rd century BCE, that is Emperor Ashok Maurya's time. His edicts are inscribed on natural rocks and stone pillars. Question number 7. What does Harsha's biography portray? King Harsha's biography portrays a realistic picture of the social, economic, political, religious, and cultural life during the king's time. What is question number 8? What is the historian's duty according to Ziauddin Barani? According to Ziauddin Barani, the historian's duty is not limited only to recording of the ruler's valor and policies of welfare, but he should also write about the ruler's failings and incorrect policies. Ninth question. Who took upon the task of exposing the limitation of Grand Duff writing? Answer. Nilkant Janardhan Kirtane and Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade were the two historians who took upon the task of exposing the limitation of Grand Duff's writing. Question number 10. What were the three ideologies by which historiography in the post-independence era had been influenced? Answer. The historiography of the post-independence era has been influenced mainly by three ideological schools: Marxist history, subaltern history, and feminist history. We'll just revise what we have learned in this lesson. Some important points are there, points to remember. Inscriptions on the Harappan seals and other artifacts. Okay, so this was found in 3rd millennium BCE, that is 3000 years ago. Ashoka's edicts and inscriptions on rocks and stone pillars, 3rd century BCE. 3rd century BCE, 300 years ago. Next point is inscriptions begin to occur on coins, metal images or copper plates and sculptures in 1st century CE. 1st century CE and 100 years. Soha Gora copper plate of Maurya period was found in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. Harshcharita, King Harsha's biography, was written in 7th century CE by Banabhatta. Okay. Then Rajtarangini, the history of Kashmir, written in 12th century CE by Kalhana. Tariq-e-Firuz Shahi, stated purpose of historiography, written by Ziauddin Barani. Just now we have learned what was the purpose. He stated that kings not only correct policies should be mentioned, but also his failures and incorrect policies also should be written in the history. A scholar who wrote in Arabic about Indian knowledge and social life, Al-Biruni. Autobiography of Babar, Tuzuke Babri. Biography of Akbar written by Abul Fazl, Akbarnama. An important historical document of medieval times in Maharashtra, Bakhar. First Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, Sir Alexander Cunningham. Discovery of Harappan civilization, Sir John Marshall. During his tenure, Harappan was discovered. The History of British India, 3 volumes published in 1817 by James Mill. The History of India, published in 1841 by Governor of Bombay, Mountstuart Elphinstone. The History of Marathas, written by Grand Duff, exposed the limitations of Grand Duff's writings. Nilkant Janardhan Kirtane, Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade. European scholars who respected civilizations of the East were called as Orientalists. Founded Asiatic Society in Kolkata in 1784. William Jones. Translation of Hitopadesh, edited 50 volumes of the sacred books of the East, compilation of Rigveda and its translation into German, Friedrich Max Müller. Re-evaluation of the Orientalist writings, Edward Said. Nationalistic historiography in Maharashtra, Vishnu Shastri Chiplunker. The rise of Maratha power, Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade. Institution founded by V.K. Rajwade in Pune, Bharat Itihas Samshodak Mandal, founded in 7th July 1910. The Indian War of Independence, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, 3 schools of historiography based on ideologies, Marxist, subaltern, feminist. Primitive communism to slavery, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange. Contribution to the subaltern history, Antonio Gramsci, Italian, and Ranjit Guha, Indian. Historical books on Dalits and untouchables, Gulamgiri by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Who Were the Shudras and the Untouchables by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Books on feminist history, Stree Purush Tulna 1882 by Tarabai Shinde and the High Caste Hindu Women 1888 by Pandita Ramabai. Essays on life stories of Pandita Ramabai and Dr. Rukmabai. First practicing lady doctor of India, Crossing Thresholds. Feminist essays in social history by Meera Koshambi. Autobiographies of Dalit women. Writing caste, writing gender, reading Dalit women's testimonies by Dr. Sharmila Rege. Riasatkar. Govind Sakharam Sardesai for his publication named Maratha Riyasat. Indian historians who wrote without embracing any ideology, Sir Jadunath Sarkar, Surendranath Sen, G.S. Sardesai, Triambak S. Shejawalkar. Okay, we'll see some wrong pairs over here. Correct the following okay. Fourth one, Tariq Mubarak Shahi, Yahya bin Ahmad, Sarhindi, Tajul Masir, this Hassan Nizami, Tabakat Nasiri, Amir Khusro, Tuzuke Timur. This is an extra question, okay? The answer is Tabakat Nasiri, written by Amir Khusro. Tabakat Nasiri was a work by Minhaj Siraj and not Amir Khusro. We will see some concept chart over here. Indian historiography, the ideological frameworks. Indian ideological frameworks divided into two: influential in pre-independence era and influential in post-independence era. Okay, so in pre-independence era, we have seen colonial history, Orientalist and nationalistic. And in after post-independence era, we have seen Marxist history, subaltern history, and feminist history. Second concept chart, feminist historians. Tarabai Shinde, her book Sri Purush Tulna 1882, then Pandit Ramabai, books The High Caste Hindu Women in 1888. Next is Meera Kosambi, book. Name of the book is Crossing Threshold, Feminist Essays in Social History. Then Dr. Sharmila Rege, her book Writing Caste, Writing Gender, Reading Dalit Women, Testimonies. Some nationalist historians, name of the nationalist historians, Kashi Prasad Jaiswal, Rajendra Lal Mishra, Ramkrishna Gopal Bhandarkar, Anand Sadashiv Altekar, Vasudev Vishnu Mirashi, V.D. Savarkar, Bhagwan Lal Indraji, Radhe Komud Mukherjee, Ramesh Chandra Majumdar, M.G. Ranade. History of medieval India. Foreign travelers. These are the names of some foreign travels. Ibn Battuta, Abdul Razak, Marco Polo, Niccolo Conti, and Barbusa. Hello, ma'am. Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Wind up the lecture.
Yeah, ma'am.
Finish your lecture.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, students.